What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon BTB, back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. Guys, it was a really chaotic weekend of women's hoops, man. Two top 10 matchups, two dominant performances. And honestly, man, it was great basketball. It showed us a lot. I love that these teams are not afraid to play these mega matchups. They're getting right to it, nobody ducking smoke, and it's just great for the viewer. So I just want to start with that before we go into it, man. And shout out to y'all just showing so much love. We cranked out a ton of content this weekend. You guys have been locked in with me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, and all that good stuff if it is your first time. So South Carolina's 43-game win streak snapped tonight, earlier today, I should say, in just a dominant performance for UCLA, man. There's no other way to put it. It was a dominant performance. They figured South Carolina out. It was a bad matchup. Um, the length the length was a huge problem. They were bigger at every position for the most part. They were bothering shots all night long. Lauren Betts is an absolute problem. She's got to be mentioned when you talk about player of the year candidates, man. Lauren Betts is an issue at 6'7", and y'all kept saying it during the live broadcast, and y'all are absolutely right. This was a game where they really, really, really missed Camila Cardoso. But Lauren Betts, I mean, they brought the double team. I thought that Coach John Staley made adjustments. They did what they could, but at 6'7", man, they could not keep her off the glass. I mean, y'all saw there was times in possessions where Notre Dame was getting 4 and 5 attempts at the basket just off of Lauren Betts, creating opportunities, tapping the ball out or grabbing rebounds. They figured out that if you turn South Carolina into a shooting team, the basket shrinks. South Carolina has been getting away with slow starts to games, and it hasn't bothered them at all to start the season. But they dug themselves a hole against UCLA, and they just never were able to get up out of it, man. UCLA kept their foot on the pedal in this contest. They were hot from three. London Jones was sensational, but they packed that lane, and they limited South Carolina to one shot per possession. A lot of the times, those second chance points we're used to seeing were not there. Them dominating the glass like they typically do did not happen. UCLA played fast. They got transition baskets. They packed that lane and they rebounded. They showed that if you can make the three ball and you can pack the lane and rebound and limit this team to one shot per possession, South Carolina can be beat. If you stay in attack mode and get downhill, you can get easy layups at the basket. I mean, UCLA had the perfect game plan they executed. They shot the ball sensational. They shared the basketball. They defended extremely well. I will say, too, man, South Carolina missed a lot of bunnies. South Carolina missed a lot of bunnies, man. There were a lot of layups. They were getting to the basket and just could not finish. A lot of missed shots. But there y'all go. You can look at the team stats and kind of really see how this game went. Um, it was really one-sided, man. South Carolina continued to fight. Tessa Johnson as well as Tina Powell played pretty well. But other than that, it was tough sledding, man. They missed a lot of shots. Y'all see they shot a very uncharacteristic 36.4% from the field. Now, Tessa Johnson, Tina Powell, even Raven Johnson hit a three. They were knocking down the threes. And I was saying at halftime that they definitely should be shooting more threes because they were giving mid-range looks. They were giving three-point shots. They kept trying to pound in the paint and go directly at Lauren Betts chest to chest, and she was laying people out. She was blocking shots. She was bothering shots. It was not the right strategy. But they did knock down the three. Not a lot of trips to the free throw line. Only 8 free throws shot. They didn't really shoot free throws to the third quarter, it felt like. They were out rebounded, 41-34, largely in part to Lauren Betts, Janiah Barker, Tamia Gardner. Like this front court for UCLA, man, they got size everywhere, even on the wings, like Gabrielle Arquez. They have Kiki Rice was on Tahina Pow Pow. The length absolutely bothered her. Turnovers, they had 13. They won the turnover battle. They forced 17 turnovers. But it was they lost the assist battle 16-13. UCLA had 5 blocks. UCLA was the more physical team. They were the aggressor. They came out and punched South Carolina in the mouth and didn't really look back. Looking at it for South Carolina, stats up here for y'all. Like I said, man, Tahina Pow Pow played extremely well. She made some big shots. She did her best. They cut it to single digits before they went down 20. She was doing her best to keep them in this game. She had 18 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. There was a lot of over dribbling in the lane. Usually those guards penetrate. They're either going up with it or they're looking to dump it off to a big. But none of that was available. Like UCLA really shrunk the court. They shrunk the court and they suffocated South Carolina and forced them into a lot of uncharacteristic turnovers, man. Um, Tessa Johnson came off the bench shooting the ball lights out. She had 14 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Played some big minutes, 25 minutes tonight. Maddie McDaniel leads the way with 4 assists. I think she came out and showed great flashes. She was aggressive. She was a spark plug off the bench. She really changed the tempo of the offense when she comes in. Like she's always attacking downhill. She was getting to the cup at will, man, and was just blowing layups, but they could not keep her out the lane. They could not keep her out the lane. But yeah, other than that, it was a quiet night, man. Joyce Edwards played fine. She played fine in limited action. She only saw 16 minutes, but she played fine. She showed versatility, was getting, she had 6 points, hit a nice mid-range jumper from the top of the key. I think her and Miriam Dowda could have been more effective in this game, given more minutes. But yeah, it was Ashton Watkins, 8 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. She was out there defending the best she could with Lauren Betts. She blocked some shots, bothered some shots, but it was a tough night, man. Lauren Betts is a load. They continue to try to bring that trap with Raven Johnson, with Breezy Hall, bringing whoever was on the perimeter to try to trap it. And Lauren Betts is such a good passer, man. She was just moving the basketball. There was no space for Chloe Kitts to get anything going in the paint. Very quiet night for her. That paint was plugged up. Chloe Kitts, I think, should have been more aggressive. She did take some mid-range jumpers and they weren't falling. But I definitely think, man, in my opinion, that they could have taken more the mid range jumpers were there. Take what the defense gives you. I would like to see Chloe Kitts be a little bit more aggressive, but she was getting smothered, man. There was no room, no breathing room in that lane, man. They were locking that paint up. Sanaya Fagan, quiet night, 4 points, 1 rebound. She did her best too against Lauren Betts, but I told y'all, man, Lauren Betts was gonna test this front court. And she absolutely did. She absolutely did. She absolutely did, man. She gave them problems. Um, I thought, I thought honestly that Lauren Betts was gonna have a really impactful game. Um, but I thought maybe the depth of South Carolina would have wore her down a little bit, and it really did. It really did, man. Um, I just think they did a good job of just guarding the paint, being physical, and rebounding the basketball. We're so used to South Carolina getting all those second chance points, and when they're not getting those points, they weren't really able to score efficiently. The bully ball did not work tonight. They played an adequate opponent that has the size to match up with them, and it was a bad matchup. It really was. SCW Gamecocks wasn't a number one ranked team. Yeah, they still got to figure some stuff out. They still got to figure some stuff out. Kent, welcome in. Lucy, welcome in. You think Paige got what it takes now to play against Caitlin Clark? Glad she getting out from under Gino. Yeah, Yeah, Paige is gonna be a star. I think she's gonna win Rookie of the Year in this class. I think if she does go to Dallas, like they're gonna be a title contender. I think she'll have a really nice transition to the WNBA. But yeah, Caitlin's great too. We all know. I'm excited to see them go at it. Same high school class. They've been teammates with Team USA. So yeah, that'll be fun. Paige Beckers is the real deal. Um, yeah, I think we gotta start talking about Lauren Betts seriously though. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you Saheed, you ain't lying. You are not lying. UCLA. If you beat the man, you should beat a man. Metaphorically speaking, if you beat, you know what I mean. If you beat the woman, you should beat a woman. Yep, I'm totally there with you, Saheed. Welcome in. South Carolina, I think it's good not to go too crazy about these early season matchups because it's good not to overreact because neither one of these teams will look like they did tonight when March comes. Both these teams will look completely different. There's still so much to figure out. The season's so young, but it's just fun to see these matchups, and I'm grateful that they play them out because iron sharpens iron at the end of the day. But looking at it, Lauren Betts, 11 points, a game high, 14 rebounds. She dominated the glass. She blocked shots. She was just an enforcer on both ends. She's super skilled. She had 4 assists. Found shooters when they brought the double team. I think it's going to get her in trouble, though. The same thing that kind of bothered Zach Edey. She got to keep the ball up high. They were stripping her a few times. Like, she's got to keep the ball up high. You 6'7". Keep that ball up in the sky when you get it. But she was really effective, played 37 minutes, showing, I mean, she played the most minutes of anybody in this game, showing that the endurance is on another level. She's in the best shape she's ever been in. She was physical, very skilled, great footwork. She's so physical, like, I love how she's able to establish position. You cannot box her out. She is so good at establishing the inside position and crashing the glass. I mean, she is so talented. I really think she's gonna be a stud. They got her going to the fifth pick to the Valkyries in the WNBA draft. That would be a big pick for them. I was worried Kiki Rice fully cleared. She hadn't started a game this season. Got her first action against Arkansas last week. And she looked really good. She's played off ball a lot now that they have Alina Arencialo, the freshman out of Finland, played exceptional. So now Kiki Rice can kind of play off ball more and just kind of slash and cut, catch and shoot. She had 11 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, still showing the playmaking. I thought that I honestly, if Kiki Rice doesn't play in this contest, I was already kind of writing UCLA off. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sure if she would be 100%, how she would look, if she would be rusty, and she looked really good. Her length on defense bothered Tahina Pau some. I think she's a big guard, great playmaker, can score the basketball from anywhere, and now they have the freshman Arnsalo that can really score the basketball. She was fearless out there, went 5 of 8, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, doesn't turn the basketball over. She absolutely does not look like a freshman. She gives them a different dynamic. And then they went crazy in the portal, bringing in Tamia Gardner, who coming into the game was shooting 58% from three. Janiyah Barker, athletic, offense progressing every game. I think she's definitely a potential lottery pick. Gets up the floor really well. Can shoot the basketball with confidence. Just really guards multiple positions. Active on the glass. She played a really good game as well. Coming off the bench, she was a big spark plug. Gabriela Jaquez, another big guard, multi-sport athlete. She had 11 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. London Jones came in and shot the lights out from three, and she went 4 of 5, or 5 of 6, one, but 15 points for her. She was out there getting busy. They left her open a couple of times. She had a little step back off a jab step. Like, man, they shot the ball really well. Like UCLA, it was a total team effort. It was a total team effort. India's gonna miss Maddie Westbelt. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, look how good they looked with her. look how good they looked with her, man. The Big Ten is gonna be crazy with UCLA, USC. Iowa's looked good with Lucy Olson, Jelani Cambridge, Cody McMahon carrying. Ohio State, Rutgers, Maryland. I mean, man, the Big Ten is going to be a gauntlet. I'm gonna tell you right now. But then we also saw Notre Dame. Man, I've been screaming it. I've been screaming it, and I will continue to die on this hill. They have been my dark horse to win the national title this season because of that backcourt. First of all, man, Kent says from Texas and a Hawk fan, your thoughts being a whole new team, coach, etc. I think they are one to watch even now. I mean, we're seeing, some talented players that aren't going to be protected. In particular, I saw Tiffany Hayes, Sydney Colson, some players, Courtney Vandersloot, Carly Lou Samuelson or Katie Lou Samuelson. Like, there's some talented players, Grace Berger, that I think, could be picked up by the Valkyries. And if they can get some shooters around Lauren Betts, they'll be exciting to watch. It may take some time, but, we've seen expansion teams have immediate success. Like, look at the Las Vegas Knights in the NHL. Went to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year. So, yeah, I mean, you just never know. It's a lot of excitement and optimism. And I love that they have the backing of the Warriors as well. But yeah, Notre Dame definitely has been my dorkers. I think they have the best backcourt in the country. With Sonia Citron, I just dropped a video about her defensive masterclass on Juju Watkins. She still had 24, but it was a hard-earned 24, man. Like Sonia Citron, 6'1". Coach Ivy, they compared her to Jackie Young, who's another Irish guard, 6'1", very versatile skill set, can score it from anywhere, plays off ball, doesn't need to dominate the ball to score. Good mid-range game, can operate in the pick and roll as a secondary ball handler. She's been shooting between 35 and 40% the last 2 years from three, knockdown 3-point shooter. Sonya Citron is the real deal. She gave Juju Watkins hell. Fighting off screens, denying her the basketball off ball, challenging shots, blocking shots, following her all over the court. USC definitely could have done a better job of calling some screens off ball, calling some sets, some plays for Juju to spring her or get her open. Because Simon Citron was making it a long night and a very tough night. And it was too much 1-on-3 pick and roll ISO plays that was going on, man. I think they need to get Kaylee Heckle, get her a chance. Get her a chance. Give Kaylee Heckle a chance to run that point guard spot for USC. I think she could be good. But it was a long night. It was a very impressive performance from Notre Dame. I think they did a great defensive job just as a team. Olivia Miles, Hannah Hidalgo, two of the best guards in the nation as well. I genuinely just think they have the best backcourt from a star power. They might not be the deepest, but from just a standpoint of having the most production and star power. I mean, Citron, 9 points, 3 rebounds, but you talk about the defensive performance. And then Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles carrying the offense, combining for 44 points, 15 assists, and 14 rebounds. Are you kidding me? Hidalgo's probably the best on-ball defender other than Sonia Citron. They probably have the two best, and Flage's in that conversation for sure, and some others. But between Hannah Hidalgo and Sonia Citron, they probably have the top two, I'm gonna say it, top two perimeter defenders. You could throw Flage in there too, like I said though. But when you just talk about strapping up and stripping an opponent and taking it the other way, like Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo and Sonia Citron are locking guards up, man. Like they are locking ball handlers up. Um, I think Maddie Westbeth is going to be a big addition when she gets back. She was their main post scorer last year, most productive inside player. They didn't really have a true five that was productive. Kate Koval has put all of that to rest. They did a great job on Kiki Raven. Every time she touched it and tried to go middle of the court, they were trapping. They just completely clamped down on her, took her out of her game, made stuff tough for Juju, and nobody else really got involved. But Koval, one of the leading shot blockers in the country. Rebounds it well, very, very polished at the 5'4" freshman. Nice offensive game, continuing to develop. She's just really, really efficient on both ends right now, and she's filling a big hole. She's able to anchor the paint for them. They did not have that last year, and it's a big difference. You can tell it's lifted them into another stratosphere. To be honest with y'all, USC went deeper into their roster. Notre Dame, not a super deep team, but they're deep enough. This backcourt, I mean, Olivia Miles shooting it at an all-time high from three. Big guard, can get to the cup, draws a lot of fouls, always in attack mode, always going downhill. Elite court vision, plays the one, but can play off ball if you want to run it with it. Hannah Hidalgo. Committed defender, high IQ, sees play like just always ahead. Head always up on the fast break. I just love her feel for the game. Hidalgo, younger, was forced to grow up really quick last year, got the ball immediately in her hands, got the keys to the kingdom immediately with Olivia Miles out. Maybe the quickest guard with the basketball in the country. Explosive first step. Uses the entire court. Love the way she just gets to her spots. Great at just getting angles, man. Like she just can get anywhere she needs to on the court. Mid range, she's got it. Elite layup package, can blow by you. Elite range on the three ball. Consistent playmaker. Unselfish, flashy with the dimes. She's a walking highlight, man, and she's a nearly impossible to cover in the open court. Pesky defender. I mean, just a straight ball hawk will just make you uncomfortable for 94 feet, man. Like, just dog competitor, emotional. Love her game, man. Love her approach. Hannah Hidalgo definitely deserves her flowers. She went in there and snatched Juju's chain. She's one of the best players in the entire country, and she stood on business. Hannah Hidalgo absolutely stood on business for Notre Dame. And then we talked about Central already. Lockdown defender, 6'1". When you talk about the WNBA, how wide open it's becoming, and how these big wings and guards are starting to dominate, you need a Central on your squad that can guard multiple spots and make things very difficult, but also can make the defense pay if they don't respect their offense. So yeah, I think she's going to be really elite in the league as a defender, as a 3-and-D player. I think she's probably the best 3-and-D player in the country, to be honest with y'all. Indiana Fever, man, they better not mess around. I definitely think they should go ahead and take Citron, man. She'd be a great addition to that team. I think she's gonna be really, really good at defending those big guards, those big scoring threats that are taking over the league right now in the WNBA. It's pace and space, shooting a lot of threes, running a lot of transition, man. You need ball stoppers. You need players that can pick up. You need players that can guard multiple spots, switch at a moment's notice with all this pick and roll. So yeah, man, Notre Dame did their thing. I think it was an impressive effort from them. Going to the rankings, you could definitely see UCLA shooting up to number one potentially. I don't know if they jump UConn, but maybe they do because they have a bigger win than UConn does right now, and they beat South Carolina in impressive fashion. And Don Staley was pissed the whole time on that sideline. You could definitely tell, and rightfully so. But this is what she wanted. She wanted them to be battle tested. South Carolina is playing for March and April. They are not concerned with wins right now, a win streak. They're not really, dying on wins that are happening in November. This team scheduled this gauntlet of a non-conference schedule to be prepared for the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. This is what they wanted. They wanted competition. They wanted to get tested. I think we may have overhyped South Carolina and USC a bit. That's not to say they're not going to reach the peaks that we had, that of the expectations that were put on them. But no team is a finished product yet. And I'm not here to condemn any team or say they're in trouble or anything like that. Other than, I don't know, USC might be in a little trouble in the Big Ten. Just a little bit, man. Because the Big Ten is tough. And they got to find an identity. They need to figure out who the point guard is going to be. So USC has a lot more work to do and a lot more to figure out right now than I think South Carolina does as far as finding an identity. South Carolina, I mean, we know their culture. They've been doing it for a long time. We know their identity. We know the standard there. There is no number one post player right now. So they're gonna have to figure that out. They're gonna have to figure out a balance. And it was weird not seeing Malaysia Full Wiley tonight either, man. This was a game where I thought Malaysia Full Wiley could have been very impactful off the bench. They missed her tonight. They definitely missed her tonight. She's been the second leading scorer on this team. Chloe Kitts did not deliver. They definitely could have. And I'm sure Don Staley will elaborate, and we'll have a update on what was going on. But because not it wasn't like an injury or anything occurred that we saw that was noticeable. So yeah, it was strange. We did not see Malaysia Full Wiley, man. That's tough, especially with the season she's been having. Hey, kid, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Much love, much love. Thank you. As a Fever fan, I hope we get Satu. We are going to be the team to beat next season. That offense is going to be explosive. I think they're going to be very versatile, and the defense will definitely improve under Stephanie White. Defense will definitely improve under her, without a doubt. They'll play more physical. They'll be tougher. Definitely appreciate it. Y'all have been waiting for SC Gamecocks W to lose. Just who they lose to. I mean, everybody's got to lose at some point, but this loss does not define the season. I will tell you that right now. And they got to bounce back quick because they got Iowa State on Thanksgiving, and Audie Crooks and Addie Brown are the real deal. Guys, if this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share. Join our memberships. I got exclusive content for you guys daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Follow us at Brandon Lee TV on all social media. And hey, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in right now. Yeah, I think South Carolina will be just fine. They will figure it out. Chloe Kitts will get back to form. Malaysia Full Wiley could have been impactful in this game. Don Staley rises the hot hand. Tessa Johnson and Tina Pow Pow were definitely bright spots for this team. They need more production from the paint. They're gonna have to figure it out. I think Miriam Dowda could be valuable though that down the stretch. I really do. If she just continues to get confident shooting that three ball, teams are going to look at what UCLA did, packing the lane and turning South Carolina into a jump shooting team. They're going to have to overcome that, and I think they will. And they're not going to miss that many layups on a given night either. They're definitely not going to be missing layups like that on a regular basis. But Notre Dame deserves all the credit. As far as USC, they have a lot of talent. It sucks that Kennedy Smith went down, one of their starters, five-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, was having a good season for USC, productive season. I hate that Kennedy Smith is going to miss extended time. They will absolutely miss her. Kiki Urafen, she had one bad game. Not sweating it too much. She didn't look like a number one or two draft pick last night, but I mean it was a good defensive strategy. She's been productive all season though. Juju Watkins is going to be elite. She's got to be more efficient, and they got to stop relying on her to be the primary ball handler. Let her play the wing. Let her worry about scoring baskets. Because if she's the primary ball handler, she's going to have to be more of a playmaker. Period. So they got to figure that out. Who's going to be the point guard for this group? Who's going to initiate the offense? Who's going to spread the ball around? Who's going to quarterback this thing? Because it can't just be Juju going 1-on-3 and pick and rolls. Because other teams are going to look at what Notre Dame did, Notre Dame did as well, pressuring that basketball. But yeah, they just got to figure it out. They got to figure out their identity. It's a lot of new pieces to Leah Von Ohlhoffen. I think will be better. She'll play better. They're still figuring it out. It's a lot of new faces on this team. Yeah. People are locked in for the women's hoops, man. People are absolutely locked in for it, and I love bringing y'all all the latest. But yeah, I don't think any of these teams are in any type of trouble. This isn't here to overreact or down any teams or anything like that. It's more so just what we saw. We saw some great early season basketball, and these teams aren't ducking smoke. They're not scared to play these mega matchups, and we still got some bigger matchups, man. Because that South Carolina and UConn matchup, I think, will tell us a lot more about these teams. Because it's in February. These teams will definitely be more polished by then. And they'll be more settled in. So those matchups later in the season, I think, will tell us more than these matchups right now, early in November. So I wouldn't overreact. It would have been cool to see Don Staley break that record, see South Carolina as a team, as a program, break that record, but they're not sweating it. They're chasing championships. So it'll be, and we'll hear from Don Staley as well. I'll definitely have a follow up video about it. But yeah, give me y'all's takeaways. Holler at me in the comments. It's so great now. Yep, definitely can. Definitely. But yes, hey man, South Carolina has a big matchup they gotta get ready for with Iowa State, man, who's another talented team with a good front court, with some size, can really score the basketball, has star power. I will say though, man, Iowa State almost lost to Drake, and they did lose to Northern Iowa. I'm just throwing that out there, which I think is crazy. I still think they're a really good team, but I'm just saying they done had some close encounters. They're playing this game. Shaquem, welcome in. South Carolina couldn't keep up with UCLA offense, rebound, and tempo and pace of the game. Yeah, they controlled the tempo. They figured them out. They absolutely figured them out. They absolutely figured them out. That size, that length at every position was giving them all types of problems. The greatest with the Live for Brandon Blatney podcast. Join our membership. Y'all know, got that exclusive content for you if you're interested. And definitely follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. You into golf as well? See what I am, a Caitlin Clark fan, and seeing what she has done, giving back to the special needs, putting it as the rest she is crossover like we never seen before. She definitely doing her thing on the LPGA. And she's doing good as far as, yeah, man, just being charitable, philanthropic. Yeah, man, Caitlin Clark getting it done for sure. Guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I just wanted to hop on, do a little reaction, do a little recap. I will definitely have more content for you guys coming up soon. Make sure to check out the videos that I posted today, though. Posted some great content today for you guys. That is a wrap for us for all the latest and the greatest. I am Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. This has been the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. We got our last comment. South Carolina has to realign their starting lineup. Bree, Raven, and Fagan need to go to the bench. Send the vets to the bench. Sheesh. Oh man. But make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Until next time, much love, everybody. We out.